We've officially checked out of our Tokyo hotel room
and traded our king-size bed for this. So for the next 2 weeks, we are giving out the comforts of a hotel room to live out of this campervan.
This is the Mitsubishi Delica that we rented from Samurai Campers for just $88 per day. We will also be sharing the breakdown of how much it costs to live in a campervan for 2 weeks towards the end of the video, so stay till the end to find out more. So since we're spending so much time around Fuji, we needed something nimble enough for us on the mountain roads in a day, but also something spacious enough in the night for us to get restful sleep. I mean, of course, there are smaller and cheaper vans, but let's admit it, we're both not very small, so that's the price that we gotta pay. So we'll go in depth in a separate video to show you what living in a van looks like, as well as share some tips for those people who are interested in doing the same.
So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below.
So they have a couple of vans in their mid-sized fleet, and at the point of booking, you wouldn't really know what you'll be getting. So this time round, we got the Mitsubishi Delica, which is also known as the Snow Monster.
This van runs on petrol, which is what they call regular in Japan. And this van is supposed to have 10 kilometers per litre mileage. So we will see what is the damage at the end of the trip. So Samurai Campers actually do provide the ETC card as well, but unfortunately when we collected the car, they ran out of ETC cards. But fortunately, there's no issue to that. So you can look for the green gates when passing the ETC toll gates, and you can pay in cash or card.
So to kickstart the van tour, we'll start off with the kitchenette area. So here we have some cabinets. In this top cabinet, we keep some of our skincare, our toothbrush, Chin's razor, and some wet wipes on days that we cannot bathe. And then this is, as you can see, a super full snack cabinet filled with all the snacks that we need for the night, and also some bread for breakfast that we usually eat along with the coffee that we will get from the vending machines at the Michi-no-Ekis. So in this van, they also provide a microwave, which you can use to heat up all the food that you buy from your convenience store and have them anywhere with a view. So they also provide like a small sink, which honestly we haven't got around to using just because we are a little bit lazy to maintain the clean water and grey water tank. So it's here, available for use, but we haven't touched it. If you do want to use the small sink, the clean and grey water tank is available here that you can just top up with clean water and clear the grey water.
They also do provide jumper cables in case your battery is too cold or if the 12-volt battery dies.
And this is the bed area, and these benches can be transformed into a bed at night. Honestly, since we've set this up into the night mode, we've never actually revert it back into day mode just because it's a little bit of a hassle. And honestly, we just leave the bed as it is once we are done with it. So yeah, then it creates this flat surface for you to be able to sleep. And then usually Chin sleeps here and I sleep at a slight angle here. So we came with these two cabin luggages, and what we do with them most of the time is just park them below the bed area where it fits perfectly for two. So I think the main thing that we've learned here is try not to bring too big a bag. You probably will not have space to put it. So there's actually a lot less storage space than we expected. So we thought these benches will allow some storage of clothes and whatnot. But if you look below, actually it's filled with some of the, I think, batteries and parts and whatnot. So we don't usually use them as well. So the only usable compartment, I would say, sits right here behind the driver's cab. So over here, we typically use it to store some of our groceries, like the bigger items like the water bottles that we buy in cartons, like 6 or 12 of them at one shot. So then it gets them out of the way. Yeah. In terms of what Samurai Camper provides, they gave us blanket for us to share and also 2 pillows for 2 of us. And so what I did was to bring disposable bed sheets as well, because they don't provide that. The blankets, we actually just use it to form like a little padding for our bed, just so it's a little bit more comfortable. And in terms of the blankets that we actually use, we snuggle ourselves into these sleeping bags that we got from Decathlon, which honestly has saved us on a couple of nights where it got super cold. I think this is rated for 15 to 20 degrees. There were some nights that were down to 5 degrees, which we would not have survived without them. But Decathlon, if you are watching, if you have something that is rated for a lower temperature, please send them our way. We are happy to get them. So let's show you what our night and sleeping setup looks like. and the pillows will just go here. So if you are thinking about where you can charge, there are these USB ports with this lamp here. So there's 2 of them. And then if you need, there's also 110 volt socket here that you can charge. So what powers all that light and charging socket will be the secondary battery, where you'll be able to check the battery percentage here. So the switches for all the lights and the sink pump sits here, and you can just control them here. And to turn off the microwave, you just need to turn it on here.
So if it is your first time renting a camper van, I think you don't need to worry about the secondary battery, because once you drive or if you just turn on the engine, it will charge the secondary battery.
So if you are thinking about cooking in this trip, or maybe just worried about the cold at night, you can actually rent a portable stove or heating from them.
So this is the driver's cab. Honestly, it's quite comfortable and big, and we had many of our meals here. And on days that we were lazy to climb back to the back of the camper van, we also watch our Netflix here.
So as promised, here's a breakdown of everything we spent living in a camper van for 2 weeks. Starting with the biggest expense, rental in itself, $1,443. And that doesn't include the tire explosion and change that we had to do, $163. And while we avoided them as much as possible, those came up to $78. Parking was about $80. And petrol slightly over $130. We showered pretty much every day, and that came up to $87. And we needed laundry twice, so $16. For the activities we did like cycling and attractions that we went to, it came up to $107. And groceries at supermarket, $115. And conveni runs coming up to $134. Total food and drink expenses, $826. And finally, for all the snacks and souvenirs we brought back, $87. So for 30 days, the grand total came up to $3,268, which is about $125 per person per day. Is that more or less than you expected? Comment down below.
And that's all for our camper van tour.
Remember to like, share and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next video where we'll be sharing where we're headed to for the next 2 weeks.
Wow, worst tire burst. This is old tire or something. So update, I think the tow truck is here. Should be for us. So it just died again. Oh my god. So this was the broken tire. Wow, crazy. You look at the tires. Wow, what the